Warning, this podcast contains violence, sexuality, gore, and other horrible and disturbing things. Listener discretion is advised. Also, the hosts of this venture are ignorant dipshits, so please do not take anything they say as fact. And enjoy the show.
Now, are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then we'll begin.
Today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be.
The atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand.
It is our basic human right to be fuck up.
A second plane now has crashed into the other tower of the World Trade Center.
Putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
The defendant shall be incarcerated for the rest of her natural life with no possibility of parole.
You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men.
We were somewhere around Barstow, on the edge of the desert, when the drugs began to take hold.
Occultae Veritatis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Occultae Veritatis. I am Sage Murray.
Leon Filger.
Ood Gallifrey.
Joining us in studio again.
Special guest robot.
And?
Richard Bigley.
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
All right, so before we delve into the esoteric and mysterious world of the Ordo Templi Orientis, it's time for What's Your Poison?
So, what's your poison?
All right, so...
I guess I'll pop one of these open.
Yeah, open it.
Give us a good sound effect.
It's better than a kick in the ass. All right, so we have... I gave Ood some money out of the account, and he went and bought some random beer.
Uh-huh.
And this one is Delirium Nocturnum, and it has like the fucking coolest bottle I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's made of stone, and it has an elephant on it.
I really liked the Delirium beers.
Oh, this is so good.
There's the Delirium Tremens, which is like a sister beer to this, which is like I think one of the top 3 beers in the world or something.
Leon hates it. I love it. It's like really like dark and sweet.
Yeah, it's too much like a Guinness for me.
I like.
Well, that's dark beer.
Yeah. This is really good.
I just got the foam. I got to pour it correctly.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm wasting it.
Oh, Ood. You literally just drank a bunch of head.
I got some of the liquid in there.
Oh, that's really good.
It's really good.
Oh, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
It's very like dark and sweet and kind of caramely and molassesy. Like it's sweet and thick.
Robot, you said you had some familiarity with this beer.
Yeah, well, I really like I was talking about its sister beer, the Delirium Tremens, which is, I think, one of the top 3 beers in the world.
Is it dark like this?
No, it's a lot lighter.
Like IPA or like lagery or...
It's kind of its own thing.
Okay.
In the same way that this isn't really like a lot of other dark beers.
It's true. It's not quite like a porter.
Yeah.
And it's not an amber.
It's not bitter. Like it's kind of yeasty and citrusy and florally and good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm most noticing. I'm still getting that like dark beer like feel on the tongue, but it's not
brighter.
bitter.
What I'm remembering is if you get it actually fresh in Belgium, but it takes too long for it to ship over to the Western continents, it tastes a little bit like bananas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's only if you get it really fresh, though.
What do you think, Richard?
I like it. It's sweet. It's got that molasses hint to it. It's dark, and you've got that like strong dark beer flavor, but that added kick of sweetness. And if I drink out of this green cup, it also tastes pairs nicely, I guess, with Black Sambuca.
from our previous episode.
Dark and dark, right?
Dark on dark.
You know, to be totally honest, when I picked this out, I remember when I was in basic training, the bar that we went to had this bottle of beer that had elephant on it. I remember I bought a bottle and I could barely finish it because it was like drinking Novocaine. Like it made my mouth and tongue numb as I drank it. I didn't know what the fuck it was.
You were probably allergic to something in it.
Oh, maybe. That's what I thought this was. I thought this was going to be a total like a total just like prank beer where we're all gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But this is really honestly good. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Holy shit.
I don't really like beer. Yeah.
I never rated it, but I'd give it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Like, I really like this.
I'm going to give it, the buildings are falling, out of he ripped out her eye and fucked her in the eye socket. The Aristocrats.
But
I'm not sure if that's a but-cha.
I'm not sure. I'm going to put the but-cha there.
Okay.
And so how would you classify that particular serial killing?
Fucking her in her eye? Is there? Why is she doing it?
Because they're a family act.
Oh,
and a talent agency.
I guess they're not really killing for the killing. The killing is just happenstance because the performance comes first.
Performance art.
The performance art.
So
nothing is more important than
process.
art food.
The show must go on.
So they're almost like. The serial killing is just kind of a nuisance, kind of just a necessary evil to complete the show.
It's actually a spree killing.
Oh, okay. Multiple eye sockets.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like you're just not really committed to the act.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Look, if you want this internship, you're really going to have to commit. Okay?
Ooh, that's a hard internship.
You will get fucked in the eye socket, but you will get this job.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Harvey Weinstein.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I would rate this a solid 9 out of 10. This is one of my favorite beers.
Yeah, I really like this one.
O. The O.T.O was a German group practicing magic which came under the control of Aleister Crowley in the 1920s. Crowley was called the wickedest man in the world and he was a target of Hitler's. He basically was highly critical of Christianity, which he thought was bogus. He was a multiple drug abuser. He was a heroin addict by the time he died in the 1940s. He was bisexual at a time when that was rather unpopular, and he was accused of having caused some of the members of his group to commit suicide with the pressure he put on them. Along with most of the ritual magic groups of the early 20th century, the O.T.O compacted all of the gods and goddesses they could get their hands on. So they got the Egyptian, the Viking, the Greek, the Roman, and put them all together. And they then practiced rituals which were meant to give them magical powers to get little demon entities to work on their behalf, to control other people, to do what they wanted them to do. The rituals were written down by Crowley and so have been passed on and continue to be used. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, was an avid follower of Aleister Crowley and indeed practiced the 8th ritual of the O.T.O, which was a homosexual magical ritual intended to bring about the birth of a moon child who would be the Antichrist. Scientology derives a great deal of material from Crowley. I must say that I consider Scientology far more dangerous than the O.T.O. With the O.T.O, it doesn't publicise, it doesn't actively recruit. It's a pretty small group. You're probably looking at a few thousand people at most. They do have a leader to whom they pay reverence, but O.T.O people tend to be more intellectually inclined, and they've often studied a great deal around the subject. I've dealt with the O.T.O and I found them perfectly friendly. Having said that, they have a very liberal attitude towards drug abuse and towards sex, which for most people would probably not be palatable. Crowley's sexual practices were very extreme, sadomasochistic practices. He had a particular penchant for women who had gonorrhea. If somebody had any kind of psychological difficulty, then this would not be a good idea.
So this time, as I mentioned, I'm doing Ordo Templi Orientis, or O.T.O, as I'll be referring to it as. The early history of the O.T.O is difficult to trace reliably. Originated in Germany or Austria between 1895 and 1906. Its apparent founder was a man named Karl Kellner. It was probably with the German spelling of K for Karl. A wealthy Austrian industrialist. It was founded in probably 1895, although, as I said, nothing really verifiable is known about that.
When was the Industrial Revolution?
1992 to 1996.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's right, no.
He said it with such a straight face.
I don't know enough about it to correct him. So
and it's like, yes, that's what I thought, indeed.
1902?
Yeah.
I feel like that's right.
He has a trustable face. I'm going to take it as Bible truth.
I think it was way earlier than that. The Industrial Revolution.
Okay, well, let's Google it.
Industrial Revolution?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was like the whole Roaring Twenties thing.
It was once they got the steam engine in like the mid 1850s, I think.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess. 1850.
I think that it was considered that the Industrial Revolution officially started when the cotton ginny was first.
The Industrial Revolution was the transition to new manufacturing processes in the period from about 1760 to sometime between 1820 and 1840.
Yeah, I was real wrong.
That's the roaring 20s there, the roaring 80s.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the roaring 1720s.
So when they say he's an industrialist, he's setting up manufacturing in factories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, like it's already been revolutionized, and it's not 1992 to 1996. That was really funny. So a man named Theodor Reuss, R-E-U-S-S, who lived from 1855 to 1923, he collaborated with Kellner in creating O.T.O. And succeeded him as the head of the O.T.O. after Kellner's death. Under Reuss, charters were given to occult brotherhoods in France, Denmark, Switzerland, and the USA and Austria. So there were 9 degrees, of which 6 were Masonic. So that's another episode for another time. The Masons were another wacky.
My dad was Mason.
So was my cousin.
Is the stonecutters on The Simpsons supposed to be the Masons?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a satire.
Yo. So in 1992, Reuss, along with a man named Franz Hartmann and another guy named Henry Klein, purchased the right to perform the rites of Memphis in the Mizraim?
Is it French?
I don't know.
Mizraim.
No, it doesn't seem French.
Okay.
Of Freemasonry. So those are special Freemason rites. The authority of which was confirmed in 1904 and then again in 1905. Although those rites were considered to be irregular, they, along with the Swedenborg rite, performed the core of the newly established order. And if you, I'll say it again, but if you really want me to cover any of this weird stuff, let me know and I'll hook you up.
Yeah, she's easily swayed.
I am.
OV_Sage?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter now. So Reuss met with a man named Aleister Crowley.
Who's Aleister Crowley? Aleister Crowley, born Edward Alexander Crowley, in Leamington Spa, about 1875, I believe. Son of a brewer. Getting into Crowley's biography would take forever. Suffice it to say that he was raised more or less in the form of an only child. Social skills questionable, business skills non-existent. Reuss was looking for something to keep O.T.O. going. Crowley was looking for something to get going. Crowley had been more or less pushed out of the Order of the Golden Dawn. Over time, Crowley's religious writings, which have their origin in 1904, when he had a mystical experience and wrote down what's called the Book of the Law, became more and more into the center of O.T.O. The general term for this is thelema. It's a term that is found in 15th century writing in the French. And the basic principle is that every one of us has a will, semi-divine part of ourselves. And we're here to do that will. It's close to the idea of destiny.
He fucked a man in the desert.
Oh, he's fucked a lot of things in a lot of places. So he met Aleister Crowley in 1910, and only 2 years later, Crowley was placed in charge of the Great Britain and Ireland. So there, so he was like he rose through the ranks pretty quick.
So it's almost like governmental, like they put him in charge over regions.
Yeah. It's like it's a whole web and network of fraternal brotherhoods, just like the Freemasons.
Oh, goody.
So Crowley advanced to the 10th degree. We'll talk about degrees later. The appointment included the opening of the British section of O.T.O., which was called the Mysteria Mystica Maxima.
Ooh. I think that's an 8th level D&D spell, too.
I wouldn't be surprised if they gleaned some wacky words from O.T.O.
I'd guess so.
So Crowley then went to Berlin to obtain obstructional manuscripts and the title of Supreme and Holy King of Ireland, Iona, and all the Britons within the sanctuary of the Gnosis, so that he needed to get that title.
So was this before or after Hitler?
1910.
Oh, 1910.
Oh,
okay.
A bit before.
Okay, so the Nazis weren't collecting occult shit in Berlin yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Within the year, Crowley had written the manifesto of the Mysteria Mystica Maxima, which described its basic 10-degree system, with Kellner's 3-degree Academia Masonica forming the 7th, 8th, and 9th degrees. So those are the 3 degrees that he stole from the Masons, and they just kind of stuck them on the end.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So then in 1913, Crowley composed the Gnostic Mass while in Moscow, which he described as being the order's, in quotations, central ceremony of its public and private celebration. In 1914, soon after World War I broke out, he moved to the United States. It was around this time that Crowley decided to integrate Thelema, which I'll explain in a minute, into the O.T.O system, and in 1915 prepared revised rituals for use in the MMM, the Mysteria Mystica Maxima. I'm not saying that anymore. MMM. In 1917, Royce wrote a synopsis of degrees of O.T.O, in which the 3rd degree was listed as Craft of Masonry, and listed the initiations involved as Entered Apprentice, Fellow Craft, and Master Mason.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is lots of weird words in this episode.
So could they, since they had the same 3 ending levels, the Masons and the O.T.O, could they go through either organization to return to those 3?
The first 3 levels of the Masons are the last 3 levels of O.T.O.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and elaborated on this with full instruction in craft masonry, which included the catechism of the first 3 degrees and an explanation of all the various Masonic systems. In 1919, Crowley attempted to work this Masonic-based O.T.O in Detroit, Michigan. The result was that he was rebuked by the Council of Scottish Rite on the basis that the O.T.O rituals were too similar to Orthodox Masonry.
Oh, Jesus.
So he finally got called out on stealing a bunch of his stuff from the Masons.
Yeah.
However, when it came to the considerations of the practical details of the rituals to be worked, the General Council of the Scottish Rite could not see its way to tolerate them, on the grounds that the symbolism in some places just touched too nearly that of the Orthodox Masonry of the lodges. Crowley then wrote that Theodor Royce suffered a stroke in the spring of 1920. In correspondence with one of Royce's officers, Crowley expressed doubts about Royce's competence to remain in office. Relationships between Royce and Crowley began to deteriorate, and the two exchanged angry letters in October of 1921.
I guess they didn't have texting in 1921.
No, they just send like salty letters.
Can you imagine if texting existed? I mean, angry text between Aleister Crowley and him? It's just not as epic, you know?
The poor courier boy just running back and forth between them as they get angrier and angrier.
Well, you tell him, but sir, I've already done 12 trips.
Going to have to pay me double. So Crowley informed Royce that he was availing himself of Royce's abdication from office and proclaiming himself outer head of the order. So Crowley basically just like swooped in right after this guy died, after basically being a dick to him until he died. So Royce died on October 28, 1923, without designating a successor, although Crowley claimed in latter correspondence that Royce had designated him, of course. Crowley biographer by the name of Lawrence Sutton, among others, cast doubts on this claim, although there's no evidence for or against it. But no other candidate stepped forward to Crowley by offering proof of succession. So 1925, during a tumultuous conference of Grand Masters, Crowley was officially elected as the outer head of the order by the remaining administrative heads of O.T.O.
So is that just like a voting process, or did they have to try and do magic tricks?
No, it's just a voting process.
Okay. I thought like the best wizard wins. Whoever can make sparks fly out of their fingers gets to be the head wizard.
That is not a thing.
Jedi lightning.
Basically. So during World War II, the European branches of the O.T.O were either destroyed or driven underground. By the end of the war, the only surviving O.T.O body was Agape Lodge in California, although there were various initiates in different countries. Very few initiations were being performed, but at this time, a man named Karl Germer, who had been Crowley's representative in Germany, migrated to the United States after being released from Nazi confinement. On March 14, 1942, Crowley appointed him as his successor as the outer head of the order, and Germer filled the office after the death of Crowley in 1947. So, after Crowley's death, Germer attempted to keep O.T.O running with questionable success. Germer died in 1962 without naming a successor, and it was not until 1969 that a man named Grady McMurtry invoked emergency authorization from Crowley and became the Frater Superior of O.T.O.
Frater Superior.
Yep, Frater, F-R-A-T-E-R. O.T.O. was described by Crowley as the first of the great old eon orders to accept the Book of the Law.
Okay, bud.
Yeah. So O.T.O. originally borrowed ritual material from irregular Masonic organizations, and although some related symbolism and language remains in use, the context has changed to Thelema and its tenets.
So they're using some Masonic stuff for different purposes.
Yeah, but it's mostly Thelema now. Thelema is a Greek word meaning will or intention, and the main beliefs of Thelema are every man and woman is a star. This is usually taken to mean that each individual is unique and has their own path in a spacious universe wherein they can move freely without collision.
But if everybody's special, then nobody's special.
Well, everyone's special, according to Thelema.
Shit.
And one of their other tenets is, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Most Thelemites hold that every person possesses a true will, a single overall motivation for their existence. The law of Thelema mandates that each person follow their true will to attain fulfillment in life and freedom from restriction of their nature. So the next one is love is the law, love under will. So this is an important corollary to the above, what I just explained, indicating that the essential nature of the law of Thelema is that of love. Each individual unites with his or her true self in love, and so empowered, the entire universe of conscious beings unites every other being in love. So here's when we kind of start getting into a little bit of more weird stuff. O.T.O. has two core areas of ritual activity: initiation into the mysteries and the celebration of Liber, I don't know, XV, I don't know my Roman numerals.
That's 15.
15?
Yeah.
The Gnostic Mass. Yeah. In addition, the Order organizes lectures, classes, social events, theatrical productions, and artistic exhibitions, publishes books and journals, and provides instruction on yoga and magic with a K, M-A-G-I-C-K, because that's how the cool kids spell it.
So like most other churches and cults, they got to get their name out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yoga and magic. I feel like yoga is the magic of the body.
Get out. The O.T.O. is in possession of one supreme secret.
Ooh.
The whole of its system is directed towards communicating to its members by progressively plain hints this all-important instruction.
I think I know the answer to the secret.
Just wait.
It's 42.
Oh.
It is always 42. Yes. Of the first set of initiation, Crowley wrote the main objects of the instruction are two. It is firstly necessary to explain the universe and the relations of human life therewith. Secondly, to instruct every man and woman how best to adapt his or her life to the cosmos and to develop his faculties to the utmost advantage. I accordingly consulted a series of rituals: Minerval, Man, Magician, Master Magician, Perfect Magician, and Perfect Initiate.
And Magic Missile.
Sounds like our Patreon levels.
I know, it does. Like,
Yes.
this is... So the initiation rituals begin after the 5th degree. They basically, you have to be, like, loyal, independent, trustworthy, courageous.
Just as a matter of cause, it's good to usually be skeptical about Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, he's an enigma. He has so many... Like, he has more stories than he has, like, lifetime to live them.
Yes. We should do it. Like, I should do another episode on him and research. Well, I researched this while I just didn't...
So that's interesting.
Well.
So the two tasks of this are to find your direction in the universe and then to pursue it.
Yeah, basically.
Isn't that this the secret?
Uh-huh.
Ah, fuck. Everybody's...
Except there's more sex stuff.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so what do we need to do to get in?
All right, so membership in the Ordo Templi Orientis is based upon a system of initiation ceremonies or degrees, which use ritual drama to establish fraternal bonds between members, as well as impart spiritual and philosophical teachings.
Fraternal bond. That sounds ominous.
Oh, yes. This is all very secretive. So the degrees also serve as an organizational function in that certain degrees must be attained before taking on various forms of the service in the order. There are 13 numbered degrees and 12 unnumbered degrees, which are divided into 3 grades or triads: the hermit, the lover, and the man of earth.
Holy shit.
So there's like sections that have subsections that are the same as other subsections, but they're called something different.
Do you get a cool membership card or something?
I don't know. I should try to join the O.T.O. The admittance to each degree of the O.T.O. involves an initiation and the swearing of an oath, which O.T.O. claims is similar to those used in Freemasonry.
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. I proclaim the law of light, life, love, and liberty in the name of I believe in one secret and ineffable Lord, and in one star in the company of stars, of whose fire we are created, and to which we shall return, and in one Father of life, mystery of mystery, in his name, chaos, the sole vice-regent of the sun upon the earth, and in one air, the nourisher of all that breathes. And I believe in one earth, the mother of us all, and in one womb, wherein all men are begotten, and wherein they shall rest. Mystery of mystery, in her name, Babylon. And I believe in the serpent and the lion, mystery of mystery, in his name, Baphomet. And I believe in one Gnostic and Catholic Church of light, life, love, and liberty, the word of whose law is the Lamb. And I believe in the communion of saints. And forasmuch as meat and drink are transmuted in us daily into spiritual substance, I believe in the miracle of the Mass. And I confess one baptism of wisdom, whereby we accomplish the miracle of incarnation. And I confess my life one, individual, and eternal, that was and is to come.
Advancement through the Man of the Earth triad requires sponsorship from ranking members. Advancement into the degrees of Knight of the East and West and beyond requires one to be invited by ranking members. So the entire system is as follows. So 0 degree is Minerval, 1st degree Man and Brother, 2nd degree Magician, 3rd degree Master Magician, 4th degree Perfect Magician and Companion of the Holy Ark of Enoch. And then we have PI, which is Perfect Initiate. And then next subsection we have is Outside All Triads, which is the Knight of the East and the West. Then we have the Lover Triad. The 5th degree is, get ready, Sovereign Prince Rose-Croix, the Knight of the Pelican and Eagle, Knight of the Red Eagle, and member of the Senate of Knight Hermetic Philosophers.
You have to show up early just to say that guy's name.
I think my uncle was one of them.
This is all ridiculous.
I'm not going to lie. If these are the roles that are available, I could have gotten into this.
Yeah. Okay, well, the 6th one is the Illustrious Knight of the Order of Kadosh and Companion of the Holy Grail, Grand Inquisitor Commander and member of the Grand Tribunal, Prince of the Royal Secret.
Gee, this is coming off dorkier than Scientology. And you have to work to be dorkier than Scientology.
These guys have longer names than my D&D characters.
Goddamn. And we have a buddy that plays in our D&D group, and he played a giant barbarian, and every time he did something, he added something to his name, and his name is shorter than this shit.
All right, the next one is 7. Theoreticus and very illustrious Sovereign Grand Inspector General, Magus of Light, and Bishop of Ecclesia Gnostica Catholica, Grand Master of Light, and Inspector of Rights and Degrees.
So he's a Magus and Grand Master of Light.
He's all sorts of stuff. So the next is the Hermit Triad, and level 8 is Perfect Pontiff of the Illuminati, Ex-Popt of the Illuminati. And the next one is Initiate of the Sanctuary of the Gnosis. And then 10th is Rex Sumus Sanctimusis. And 11th is Initiate of the 11th degree. And then in brackets, this degree is technical and has no relation to the general plan of the order. I don't know what that meant.
Oh, okay.
I copied and pasted that.
So I'm guessing that means that some offshoot made it up so they could be one more than everybody else.
Yeah, probably. And then, next, this is what you have all been waiting for, is about the sex magic.
Ooh.
So the degrees of the Hermit Triad are of a sexual nature. In the 8th degree, VIII, that's 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The initiate is taught masturbation magical practices.
Okay, I'm on board so far.
What's IX?
9.
9. In the 9th degree, magical techniques related to vaginal intercourse. And in the 11th degree, XI, a form of sex magic involving anal intercourse.
Wait, anal intercourse is more magical than vaginal intercourse?
Yes.
Someone got that backwards.
Fucking somebody's asshole is more magical than fucking a vagina?
Sounds like
You
my
don't
profile
know what other
ad.
people like.
I'm not judging other people. I'm judging whether it's more magical or not.
An asshole is firmly less magical than a vagina.
Well, I just think even if I get into the head of like a real life wizard, I would think something that creates life would have way more magic than something that creates shit.
Okay, that's enough. Okay. So in the 7th degree, we'll get into a little bit more of the dirt, so it will.
Ooh.
So in the 7th degree, adoration of the phallus, both within and without.
Is that the dick?
Yep.
Okay.
And then 8th degree, interaction outside the closed vessels of the vagina and the anus. Sexual fluids might be mixed with saliva and then rubbed into the absorbent tissues of the anus and perineum, as well as the external correspondence to the chakras. Solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. So that's like all the up ones.
Okay.
So sex juices will get into the sex holes?
Yes. They also might be used to anoint the internal anus and then transferred as triune elixir, which is semen, anal elixirs, and saliva back into the mouth.
Nope.
Wait, pause. Internal anus.
I only have the one.
In the bum.
2 girls, 1 cup.
In the butt. Up there. Because you can use it to anoint it.
Like right in there, like not just on the surface, but like you're going like
inside.
Okay.
Right into it.
So right in. Okay.
Yeah.
Right in.
Okay.
The fluids may also be anointed on the eyelids. And or the entire Kabbalistic middle pillar. So that's
actually really don't want to get that in your
Do people of that level all have pink eye?
Probably.
That's not how you get pink eye.
No?
Well, it is if you do the butt first.
Fuck. I thought of all things I knew how to get pink eye, but I guess not.
Comes from poop. So level 9, interaction with the vagina involving either menstrual blood or the secretions of a woman when sexually aroused.
That sounds complicated.
That's fine by me.
Don't know about that.
Next is level 10, which is impregnation and fertilization of an egg. Also the act of creation or succession.
I mean, I guess it's a kind of magic.
That seems normal.
Pregnant is level 10.
Yeah.
And then 11 is twofold. So part 1 is isolation in the anus, where there is no interaction at all. And level 2, interaction with excrement and small amounts of blood.
No.
Such as when small wounds occur through intercourse, mucus, and of course, the mucous membranes that lead directly to the blood supply.
Where are those?
Like in your gums.
Oh.
And under your tongue.
This is buck wild.
Yeah, these people are making me feel weird because they're talking about all my separate fluids. I can't stop thinking about my fluids now.
So Aleister Crowley had a preference, and it was, he said, I am inclined to believe that the 11th degree is better than the 9th degree, which he wrote in a diary entry from the 26th of August, 1916. So that was about in 1913 when a boy showered with foaming seed, while the other in his orgasm receives the waters. Let it be no sin to us to have buggered the virile bum.
Oh.
While the priest thrusts his thyrsus between boyish buttocks.
Oh, not the
all
priest.
is accomplished. Come, holy dove.
Come on, man.
Was this Aleister Crowley?
Yeah. I have a link here that I wrote down of where I found that quote.
God damn it, Crowley.
The aristocrats.
Yeah. So in 1906, Chevalier de Clement de Saint-Marc had published a booklet about the sacred spermatophagy called l'Eucharistie. It's like the Eucharist, I guess. It described what Royce called the ultimate secret of the religious aspect of the O.T.O. The more sperm you eat, the more the manifestation of the Christ takes place within you.
Naturally.
So
no women are necessary for that.
So now Jesus Christ is both bread, wine, and cum.
Yes.
Okay.
Drink your Jesus juice, people.
The consumption of sexual secretions borders on anthropophagia. That's where you eat yourself, like eat other people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like cannibalism? Why would eating cum bring Jesus into your
A
into
cannibal,
your heart? Why
especially in legends or fables.
Because it's white, and Jesus is like kind of like Gandalf the White.
I don't know.
Is he?
I don't know. I always thought that.
I mean, he's got the white robe, I guess.
I guess that's the only connection, really.
I mean, long hair, but it's not white.
And Gandalf.
He needs a better beard.
And Gandalf the Grey has some like cleric magic, but Gandalf is clearly a higher level than Jesus was.
I mean, Gandalf just does what he wants, basically.
Yeah. No Balrogs can stop Gandalf.
I'll start that sentence.
I bet Jesus couldn't stand up to a Balrog.
Oh, Jesus would get his ass kicked.
He'd just turn the
Next
other cheek.
episode,
Oh, no.
Jesus versus Gandalf.
Yeah.
Maybe I can distract him
The
by turning
final
his water
showdown.
into wine.
The consumption of sexual secretions borders on anthropophagia, the assimilation of selected individuals who possess awe-inspiring powers in order to neutralize or even use them. The Gnostic aim is to release the human from his stifling entanglement with the physical universe and to help the pure spirit in its return to its divine potential. One common characteristic of all the spermo-Gnostics, that's a word that you didn't know until today.
I'm learning all sorts of new words today. All cum.
Yeah, this is a very cum-related episode.
Yeah.
Come hither.
One common characteristic of all the spermo-Gnostics in the context of most of the many O.T.O versions is a reduction of the sexuality unto the male physiology. So orgasm for pure reasons of lust is avoided unless ejaculation is refrained from, or the intention is directed to drift away from the immediate orgasm. Oh my god, what word did I use? I must have copied and pasted that. Immangent? What word does that mean? What does it mean?
How's it?
IMMANENT.
Imminent?
Imminent.
Imminent?
Imminent.
Is that how you spell it?
I don't think so. Is it?
Maybe.
Well, no, it's
IMMIN.
Yeah, it's eminent.
Eminent?
What's different? Is
imminent or
imminent?
eminent?
Or eminent. Those are two very different
It's
words.
it's im with an I.
Imminent.
About to happen.
Imminent. Isn't that eminent?
My fourth grade English teacher is so mad.
Impending.
Eminence is to have like status or
Okay.
a bearing.
Imminent is like
It's coming soon.
yeah, it's unavoidable kind of thing.
My orgasm is imminent.
Yes.
Oh no, can't you just
Yeah.
hold on another
Yeah, and
30
then
seconds? I'm
eminent is
almost
like a
there.
famous person.
Like the motherfucking juggernaut is imminent because he's gonna come, and nothing can stop him.
Sperm remains the point of focus. In the enthusiastic high of the genetic and Gnostic superiority of the male, femaleness vegetates in a bizarre no man's land of androgynous necessity.
What?
And almost reprehensible superfluousness.
Holy shit.
Basically, they don't need women. They just need the sperm, and
Yeah.
they don't have orgasms for fun.
So fuck you women. We don't need you anyway.
That's basically it.
I'll do
So,
my magic by
wait.
myself.
It's
then.
almost like their orgasms are just a way to get sperm now.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just they couldn't get women, and so they invented a legitimacy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they
this is
use
like the
menstrual
incel
blood.
episode, right? This is the incel
I mean,
episode.
it sounds like they use all of the fluids.
Yeah, they use all the bodily fluids from all genders.
Oh yes.
If you want to check out a really cool O.T.O episode where they where they actually go and try out O.T.O themselves, go to Ono Ross and Carrie and watch the O.T.O episode or listen to it. It's really good.
Did they do the sex magic part?
Yeah, they do the sex magic part where like the woman is naked and like a.
Oh yeah, the yoga thing.
No, it's not yoga.
No.
No.
I thought isn't level 1 like you lay together and mutually masturbate and all
No, that's a
that?
different thing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Go listen to the O.T.O episode.
You know the nice thing about the O.T.O cult is anyone can join. They take all comers.
Oh, that's glorious.
This was a rambling and nonsensical episode, and I've just barely scratched the surface of this whole O.T.O mess. I also learned a bunch more about a whole bunch more of those weird spiritual organizations. There's like, I learned there's so many of them that are like just like similar to O.T.O, but just like a little bit different.
Do you remember the Priory of Boxtopia? You were a high priestess. That was like 15 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I started a cult like that, like the Masons, and
Decent.
she was a high priestess.
I remember that.
How many followers did you get?
4 or 5.
Yeah, that's
pretty good.
That's a cult.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That's almost as much as Manson had. I mean, yeah, that's a good start.
I didn't murder anyone for
No.
you. We just end up becoming good friends.
Yeah.
And also, it wasn't a real cult, and we were already friends before that.
That's true.
Not like the real cult that we're forming with the patrons of our podcast, right?
We still love them, though.
One day we will call upon you, patrons.
Just kidding. We probably won't.
All you ask is our undying service.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, if you hear of any individual weirdness that I've talked about that you want me to expand on further, I would be happy to. I know this was a lot of random, disjointed information, just because O.T.O is so huge, and I didn't want to make it into a two-parter, because it probably would have ended up being a 3 or 4-parter. No one wants that.
I feel like we covered a lot of ground there.
There's... And that's just like little like snippets of each part of it. Like it's just
kind of little glimpses into the madness.
Like it's a large and sprawling web of weirdness.
Yeah, and like we've said before, our podcast is definitely a jumping off point. It's kind of a spotlight on some interesting things that we've found. So feel free to read further.
If you want to read further, and if you want me to do another episode, cool. If not, send me what you find, because this thing was really weird and fun to research.
Yeah, nothing like cum wizards in the 1800s.
Good old cum wizards in the 1800s.
Skeet, motherfucker.
To the window, to the wall.
To the wall.
The end. For Occultae Veritatis. Sorry. I've been Sage Murray.
Leon Filger.
Ood Gallifrey.
Joining us.
Robot.
And
Richard Bigley.
Okay, bye. Love you.
God bless the cum wizards.
Good year.
That was a good moment. And of course that was our accompaniment to the finale of our excellent ending song, our excellent palate cleanser that brought us out of the episode.
Yes.
And into the after show.
And I'm holding in front of me a box from Miska Tea and Tony's. This box came to us in the mail from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia.
I used to live in Coquitlam.
Good.
Not port covalent.
No,
but
that's fine.
Just regular.
We're going to open the box and find out what's inside, and I can tell you it stinks like reefer from arm's length.
It doesn't stink. Reefer doesn't stink.
Now, how this got to us is a mysterious person on Twitter contacted me and said,
Christ.
"Do you guys like dabs or flour?" And I said, "Most of us like flour." And then they asked for the address, and then this box showed up on our doorstep.
Okay, so we got one bag of weed, another bag of weed.
That's a lot of weed.
Another bag of weed. That's 3 bags of weed so far. Edibles, sativa, extreme strength sativa bunnies.
Oh, goody.
Lab tested, 300 milligrams of delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol.
Cool.
The fuck is this thing? Oh, it's a blunt holder.
Yeah.
Cute.
Rolling papers.
I believe the kids call them doob tubes.
Doob tubes?
Doob tube.
More triple strength sativa bunnies.
Oh.
And we got some chocolate pops.
Oh my god.
I take it these are laced.
Even if they aren't.
Chocolate pops, 4 chocolate pops. That's incredible. We all get to split these, hey, and take them home at the end of the show?
I think so.
Okay.
Sure.
And then there's another box here. Inside. Ooh,
oh my god, I love it.
What is this? It is a corkscrew blunt.
It's beautiful.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You could smoke that all day.
I think it can, by the looks of it, I bet it can fit like 2 or 3 grams inside of it. So
Oh,
it's just,
easily. Easily.
It'd go all day.
Yeah, that's plush. I'd like to try this sometime.
Yeah.
We should take turns taking it home.
Yes. We'll each take like a weekend.
Yeah, can we do that and then review it when we get back?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
I know that Mr. Sage Murray would be into trying that.
Yeah, I imagine he would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, fuck. Thank you, Mystery Head Shop in British Columbia, for sending us this box of... Did we ask for this?
No, it just showed up mysteriously in the Twitter mailbox. They just asked if we liked dab or flour, and then I gave them the address.
Those are so cool.
And yeah. And we're going to be putting these to good use. We're going to be reviewing them and reviewing them on the show and seeing how they hit us. And I think the flour may or may not be featured in some upcoming What's Your Poisons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you got enough baggies that we could split up some of that flour to take home?
I think so.
Because I'd really rather not get high as fuck in the studio and then have to try to find my way home. But if I could take some of it with me, that would be great.
Yeah.
And then I could just send in a voicemail.
Yeah. I think we should all do that. We should all experiment and come, and maybe by Saturday we can do a group review of all the shit that was sent to us.
Okay, so we're just getting high every day until Saturday.
Yeah, I think so.
Parenting.
Yeah. I'm going to live in the fog.
Okay.
Ferrets are very durable, which is so they're a good pet for stoners, which is great.
Children are too.
Yeah.
So are guinea pigs.
Yeah. I hope you didn't poison us, but we're gullible to try it anyway, so...
I don't think that they poisoned us.
No.
I don't think they poisoned us.
Have we
There's
said...
There's some pretty stickers in the box, too. Thank you.
Have we said anything inflammatory enough to deserve assassination yet?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, few things we said.
Yeah, we went after Harvey Weinstein. But
yeah,
he fucking deserved it.
He got arrested again, eh?
Yeah.
He sucks.
Pled innocent again.
Yeah, he has enough problems to deal with without having to poison some Canadian podcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that be that.
Yeah.
For the after show, I'm Leon Filger.
Sage Murray.
Ood Gallifrey. And we will return to this weed box.
We will. This box of weed.
Yeah. Box of weed. Pot box.
Wee. Bye-bye.
Love you, bye.
Adios.
Beauty.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
I know.
Like, damn.
Damn.